Hey everyone. So in my last video, I talked a little bit about what would happen if like Argentina's currency collapsed, and it's happened in the past. I think it's defaulted like 9 times or so on its debt. I don't know if that's always been like a collapsed currency. I was thinking about it in terms of this like trade deal. Um, what would happen? Okay, so imports would get really expensive for Argentina because its currency is like not worth anything if its currency collapsed. So it wouldn't be able to import anything. But on the flip side, it could export a lot because its goods are very cheap compared to whatever country is buying its exports. So it'd be really cheap to import from Argentina. So if its currency collapsed, America, let's say, could buy a bunch of its exports, which would increase its foreign reserves, which would be helpful. And especially since it's dollar reserves, like dollars, it would be extra helpful because that's what it wants to hold anyways, and what it wants to try and what most countries want to hold. So you could do that. You would have avoided this whole incident where you bail them out and then they artificially boost their prices because they're bailed out, and it allows them to sell like with a bit of strength behind their currency, like a little bit of legitimacy, because they have $20 billion of legitimacy. And instead of that, it would have crashed. You could have bought it up, bought the soybeans, and then that would have led to an issue too, where it's like, hey, all right, China, you can't buy from Argentina instead of us. And I know there's more than just the U.S. and Argentina for soybeans, um, but they're one of the bigger players. And then you'd be like, hey, we have the soybeans because we bought them, and now you want them, and I have what you want because I bought it on the cheap from a collapsed currency from a country whose currency collapsed. Why not that? And I'm not trying to be inhumane. I'm not trying to be like we should purposely collapse people's currencies. We didn't do anything, as far as I know, in America to cause Argentina's currency to have such troubles. And a $20 billion bailout, if nothing changes, will just lead to another bailout and another and another. Um, so I don't know. Argentina's got to do something with its economy to fix that, um, because subsequent bailouts aren't gonna help it. And I guess too, why did we bail them out this time and not the other times? You know, does it make a difference who's in charge right now as far as um, Scott Bessent and Trump? Because I still hear things about it being a foreign exchange issue where it's like, oh, there was a trade for, a foreign exchange trade, and and it went the wrong direction. So to fix that, they did this. I don't know how true that is. It's harder and harder to find more and more about it, and that's also very hard to. It's just hard to find stuff out about that, because it's very private for the most part. Anyways, so yeah, it's interesting. I guess if you were going like, hey, America first, and we don't want to spend un like we don't want to needlessly spend, you would have just left it alone. You would have just been like, hey, you know what? That sucks, but I'll buy your stuff. It's kind of like, I guess, if you were in a business competing against another business and like your competitor was like, eh, we're having a fire sale, liquidation of our stuff because we're going out of business. So we're just trying to get back what we could because we're in too much debt. And then you can buy all the stuff that you wanted that your competitor has, and it's like directly compatible with your stuff, because you're in the same business. You're like, sweet, buy up their inventory, buy up their, probably some specific tooling if it works. Um, yeah. So again, I don't know. I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense to do it this way because it's like, what were also to the $20 billion. What was the concessions that we got? What was the agreement that we got out of it? Like, do we get certain trade volume, certain something? Like, what do we get out of it? I don't. I haven't found anything on that either. And it's not that, oh, I haven't found, I'm not looking. I'm looking, and I can't tell. Like, there's nothing. So I mean, if you guys know and you find something, tell me or comment or just post a link or something. Yeah, it's kind of I don't see the benefit to it. Instead, we bail them out at the tune of $20 billion. That's 20 billion gone, and then we go to China and go, oh, we really need you to buy our soybeans too. And then China's like, well, what do you give me for it? And it's like, now if we didn't bail them out, we wouldn't have to beg China to buy our soybeans. I know that they already were talking about not buying them because of the tariffs and tariffs and tariffs and tariffs. So before all of this even happened, let's rewind back like just a year. Were we in a situation where China wasn't going to buy our soybeans? I think not. And so we created this issue, this potential increased deficit because of what? Because I'm hard on tariffs, and it just seems counterproductive. It doesn't, it's, I don't know. I mean, we're not the only country in the world. So the other part too is that, hey, I just won't trade with you, or I'll just reduce trade and trade more with this other person, like this other country. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not trying to drag it on. I'm just thinking out loud. It's just like, this could have been better. And that's easy to say on random stuff, but when you've created it, and it's like, then it's just like, oh, come on, like, you kind of manufactured this mess of a trade deal, and now you gotta give more at the table than you probably should have, or probably would have had to had you not created this mess. Again, why are we bailing out Argentina? Like, what's the net benefit for us? Like, and I know, like, a lot of people, oh, they're our allies, or oh, they're a democracy, and it's like, it's not so cut and dry when it comes to that kind of stuff either, because, like, I mean, Russia's a democracy. Like, leave them alone, they're a democracy. Mission accomplished. Like, it's not so like, you're a democracy, you're not a democracy. It's like, okay, well, are your elections actually, like, real? Are they free and fair? Like, do you have political enemies? And you, like, that's what's up with Russia, is like, they attack other political agents and people who try to gain power. And so it's like, they have a democracy, and they have elections, but it's like, it's kind of fake, right? It's kind of like, well, not really, you know. And that's what I think a lot of people on the left are really afraid of. They're like, oh no, like, it's falling apart at the seams, or I see a crack, and so, and fine, that's fine. Like, a lot of people, they get upset. They're like, oh, what do you even, like, oh, if it's no kings, then what's up with this, and how come I'm gonna go vote? And it's like, you're they make fun of them for, like, putting the cart before the horse. But in reality, if you don't in these kind of situations, then it's too late, and you're like, oh well, I should have spoke up when I saw them starting to erode my rights. You don't speak up when your rights are gone, because you have no rights to do so. And then they'll just be like, in the eyes of the state, it's totally cool to, like, kill you or whatever. So you have to speak up about these things before they get bad, like, before they get worse. And I see a lot of this, like, I don't know, let's call it smooth brain stuff, where there's like, oh, there's nothing wrong. And it's like, well, yeah, not yet. And hopefully never, because I'm gonna say something about it. I'm gonna do something about it. It's like watching a leak on, like, a pump or something. You're just like, wonder if I should fix that, or why don't I just wait until it explodes and that leak just shoots water all over the ground, and then I'll try to fix it. It's just like, come on. Anyways, thanks for listening.